If you would like to learn how to turn this into this, join us for our next episode of how to create your own dried flower everlasting arrangement. So a few things that you will need to create your own dried flower arrangement is the container that you want to use, some dry foam, some clippers, and some hot glue. And if you're not sure what to get, I have listed it down below in the description and in the bio for certain things you might need when creating your own arrangement. So first step we're going to get started is we're going to put our foam into our planter or pot right here. So obviously it doesn't fit, so what am I going to do? I have a, where's it at? I'm going to use my knife, push down on it a little bit to get my form, and I can see where I need to cut my foam. So I'm going to follow that, just cut a little bit, just in case. I can always cut more. Still not enough, so let's cut a little more. Now that you have your foam cut, we're going to glue it in. And you see how some of it's sticking up over the pot? It's up to your discretion on whether you want to leave that or not. Just keep in mind, if you do leave foam up here at the top, you will want to cover it with some flowers. So it'll just be more material that you would need. I personally will be cutting this so it's flush with my container. I have here my hot glue pot that I am going to stick my foam into so that the bottom of it is covered in hot glue. Kind of take off a little bit of the extra. That was a little too much extra I took off, but get the bottom covered in hot glue. Now remember, it's hot glue, called hot glue for a reason. So it's hot, don't touch it. And we're going to stick it in our planter here. And the reason why I hot glue it into here is because I don't want it slipping out. I don't want my arrangement falling out. So I use the hot glue. And now that we have this done, we are going to go back there and we're going to pick out some flowers that we would like to use inside of our container. Now, in a previous episode, I have made this one in my pumpkin. Cute, huh? Well, I don't want to do this theme again. I think I'm going to stick more with fall colors in this one, since I've already done this kind of color. So let's go pick out some fall colors. So if you're just now joining us, you've never seen one of our episodes before, I'll give you a little backstory here. So here at Howell's, we've been growing flowers for 40 years. And we've been growing flowers for dried flowers. And we're still doing this today. We have a gift shop down below underneath the loft of the barn where we sell all of our arrangements that we grow and make here. But I design up there on the stage and I come down here to pick out my flowers that I want to use in each container. So let's pick out some flowers we want to use for this next container. Now it's white, so I did already do, my soft white bluish colors. I want to get more fall colors. So right over here I have marigolds. That is one of my key things I use in my fall arrangements to get my orange that I want. So I've got my marigolds here. I need some filler flowers and also some more colors. Fall colors can be oranges, burgundies, browns, creams. With that being white, I don't want it to go super crazy, and make it Halloween-y and add purple. So I think I'm going to do more of reds and oranges. So another flower I like using is called celosia or coxcomb. This is what I call celosia or coxcomb. It looks like brains to me, or coral reefs. But this will give me my reds that I want to put in with my orange. And then I will find a couple more colors. Now I did also pick out some other flowers. But on my table, my workstation, I had other flowers left from another project. So I'm going to use up some of this. So I have yarrow here, add in some yellow in with the orange and red and yellow fall colors. I'm also going to use mugwort. This mugwort has been preserved and dyed, so it's nice and soft, and gives it that basil, like light green color. So I'm going to first add my mugwort for my filler to get the shape that I want to go for this container. So I'm just going to break the stems off. I'm going to start with my height and then work around. And if you feel like it's too long, you can snip it off either with your finger or your clippers. And remember, it's way easier to make things shorter than it is to make it longer. So little steps, stick it in. If it's too long, cut a little off and repeat that. But like once it's short, it's harder to make it longer. Okay, now that you have your general filler in there, it's not perfect yet. We're going to add some of our main staple flowers. And I'm just now noticing that I got a little bit of hot glue on this container and it is now dry. So I'm going to try to take that off. Okay, we're going to add, let's do the marigolds first. So I'm not counting how many I'm using, I'm just sticking them in there. It's the way I like it. And I will figure out what I need to do. And I feel like I need one right in the center here. Okay, now I'm happy with that. I'm going to add in my yellow. And this is yarrow. It comes in different head sizes. I like the smaller ones for this container since it's a smaller container. So if yarrow is too much for you, like it's too big, it's got little veins on the back of it where you can just break one off to make your yarrow smaller. And then you can use this one in a wreath if you'd want. Okay, I've got the yellow where I want it. Now I'm going to add in my red. And this is celosia. It's quite big, quite large heads, and I don't need it that big because this container isn't that big. So when it comes to celosia, you can do the same thing you did with yarrow, and you can break it off. You can break it off into little pieces if you need to, and use the other pieces for a wreath. And then I'm going to use this head here in there. I also don't need all these leaves. Now, sometimes when you work with celosia, some of the stems can be kind of soft, depending on the stage it was picked at. This stem is very smushy, like I don't think it's going to stick in that foam very well. And if something like that happened and it won't stick in the foam, you might either have to wire it or use a pick machine. But you don't need a pick machine. You go out there and spend a bunch of money on a pick machine. You could also just wire it. But I have a pick machine because this is what I do. So I'm going to put a pick on the end of this. So this here is my pick machine. It's heavy. And it's also got these little picks in it, which are sharp. And if you were to cut your finger right here, it's like a paper cut and it hurts a lot. So we're gonna be careful. I'm gonna feed my machine again. And it works something like this. So I'm gonna stick the pick's gonna come out right here. So I'm gonna go like this. And then I'm gonna stick my flour in there. I'm gonna push down and pull it out. And now I have a pick at the end of my flour. Makes it easy to stick in the foam. But as you can see, I made it too tall. So, oops, and we're gonna fix that. So you're gonna get either break it off, but sometimes it doesn't break off as well when it's so soft. So I might have to use my clippers. So I got the length I want. I'm gonna put it back in my pick machine. And the pick machine will add a little bit of length to your flour. So keep that in mind when you're cutting for length. Much better. So we're going to repeat that step. This stem is better. Sometimes it just doesn't stick in there the way you want it, so adding a little bit of a sharp point to it will help it stick where you want it to stick. And so this celosia stem is wide and flat. So that is no good sticking into foam. I'm gonna have to make it a point. But the point is soft, so pick machine. So now that I have my color in, the main problem I see is I need more green or some white. So let's add in another flower. I'm going to use mountain mint. This mountain mint has been preserved and dyed as well, and it's one of my main greeneries that I use in our arrangements here. As you can see, the green has really helped the colors pop out, but I do see some holes in here that I would fill out with more greenery. And then another step is, say this is on a table, this looks all great here. But if you were going to put it on a shelf or on the mantle, you're going to be looking at it from up here. So we need to make sure this is nice the way you like it as well. Because right now it's just green, and maybe I can see some of the foam. So we also need to fill in down here as well. I've fixed all the sides and the top. I feel like it's missing something, and that something I feel like is some white. So to accentuate the pop better, I'm going to add in some of this, which is called annual status, that we grow here. And this particular white one has been in a bucket of glycerin and dye. You see how the stems are green? If we were to dry it naturally, the stems would be brown, and it'd be a lot more crunchier. Like right now, it's very soft from the glycerin. Cute, huh? So if you liked this video and you would like to learn how to make more dried flower everlasting arrangements, check out my other videos.